In 2023, there was a film called Kerala Stories. I smiled because, well, I'll come to why I smiled later on in my editorial. What is the film trying to tell you? Is the film trying to tell you that India Hindu khatre mein hai? Is that what the film trying to tell you? Or is the film trying to tell you that young girls are coerced to become Muslims? What is the film actually trying to tell you? Hindu khatre mein hai. Whose line was this? I'm sure all of us know this. It is a political line. It is a political line that helped a political party to form the government in India. It's a political line. Today, a film is also using it. Matlab, a political party and a film, what is the difference? If there is no difference between your creative and your politics, that's end of your creative. If it becomes a popular film, Kerala will be known for that. 10 such films, and definitely globally Kerala will be known as a place where women are picked up and converted into Islam. That's what the state will be known for. Whether it is right or wrong will be irrelevant, let me tell you that. Because that's how narratives are created, that's how hype is created. Namaskar. In 2023, there was a film called Kerala Stories. I smiled because, well, I'll come to why I smiled later on in my editorial. But there was a movie called Kerala Stories. And I thought Kerala Story was one of the most non-creative, very, very ordinary, maybe much lower than ordinary film that I've seen. Yeah, I attempted to see that film. I couldn't sit through that film. Now, this is my opinion. The film did business. The film made money. My opinion was it was a horrible film. I didn't like the film. But that's okay. That's me. Not necessary I should like all the films. There are so many people who liked it, so maybe my opinion doesn't count. To my mind, that film was made not with any intention of displaying creative ideas or intention of telling a story differently or having something different to tell you. It was not made for anything of that sort. It was made because they didn't have any idea. There was a definite creative deficit, and yet they wanted to make a film that people would buy. And they made that film. You know, such films, I call it lacre. Right from my advertising days, I used to call it lacre. Lacre means lazy creative. This is what I think. Lazy creative. I've seen a lot of them in my career. I've seen a lot of writers, visualizers, even ad filmmakers, who thrive out of lacre. Most of their products are lacre. They're lazy creators, but they thrive. So the same kind of ads, the same mundane ads, nothing innovative about their ads, and yet they do it cheaper. They do it exactly according to the client's wishes, because a good creative person will not go exactly by the client's wishes. The client says, logo bada karo, make the logo bigger. It is not necessary a good creative person will do it. He'll rather leave the business, but make something that the client tells him to do exactly just to please the client. Normally a good professional will not do it. So these lacre creatives, these lacre creative people, I've seen them. I've interacted with them. I know them. So I thought and I think that these people who made Kerala Story are the lacres, absolute lacre, lazy creative people. This is the thing. Now, like I said, this film was not made to narrate a story differently or to say a different story to you, nothing. This film was made looking at the timing. The timing of this film was bang on because they rode on this concept of hate. You see, there was a lot of hate spread by a lot of other sources, including political sources. Lot of hate spread. They served on that. So, kya hota hai? Nobody is bothered about whether technically they are good. Nobody is bothered whether there are good songs. Nobody is bothered about the performance of the cast. Nobody is bothered about whether the director is good. Nobody is bothered about whether the script was written well. Nobody is bothered about whether the dialogue was right. Nobody is bothered whether the editing was right. Nobody is bothered about all that. Hatred. People are happy. A lot of people would go and see it because that's surfing with the tide. That's what it is. This film did exactly that. ठीक है, चलो. Some people do take advantage of the situation. Some people do make use of the situation. People do that. And some people are lucky. They are not creative, but they get lucky and they end up winning audiences. A lot of cases. I can tell you a lot of cases. And I like I said, personally, I've seen a lot of advertising cases like this. So yeah, I mean, it happens. So yeah, that was Kerala story 1. Kerala stories 2, again, I am told, is going the same route. You see, like I said, I have not seen the trailer, but I think the court has seen the trailer and they were not too happy with it. And I am reading out from Economic Times. I'm reading out from Economic Times. This is what they talk about the trailer. They say that the Kerala Story 2 trailer release has ignited immense conversation with its stark opening warning. Hear this out very carefully. The footage begins with a chilling proclamation that India could be transformed into Islamic State in the next 25 years. And this is how the film starts. The trailer introduces a distorted Hindu family in Rajasthan attempting to file a POSCO case after a 16-year-old girl was allegedly coerced in changing her religion. Look at the script. Look at the thought process. This is how normally they say one views a movie. Look at the thought process. The thought process is about a girl not from Kerala. The girl is from Rajasthan. Name is Kerala Story. Kerala Story. Story from Rajasthan. So look at how you are using a state, creating a stereotype of that state, defaming that state, while that state is not involved in the story at all, just defaming that state. And you're talking about the story of another particular girl from Rajasthan. That is point number 1. Point number 2 is what is the central theme? The central theme is how these love jihads, as they are called, these girls are lured, coerced, and they are converted into Islam, and then they are used to, they are made into terrorists or whatever. This is the central theme. How did the film start? The film starts by telling you that in 25 years, India will transform into an Islamic state. In 25 years, India will transform into an Islamic state. What is the film trying to tell you? Is the film trying to tell you that India Hindu khatre mein hai? Is that what the film trying to tell you? Or is the film trying to tell you that young girls are coerced to become Muslims? What is the film actually trying to tell you? Is the film trying to tell you that, listen, stop underage girls being coerced to convert into Islam? Or is the story telling you that, Baba, listen, you stop Islam, otherwise India is going to be an Islamic state? What is the story trying to tell you? Which means the story is not very clear what it wants to tell you. What the story wants to tell you is, Baba, Hindu khatre mein hai. This is what the long and short of the story is. Am I making sense? Because it is not about coercive conversion. It is not about coercive conversion alone. It starts by saying that India will be an Islamic state. Think about it. The idea is to ride a tide, to surf a tide. This is the point I was trying to make. The idea is to surf an anti-Islamic tide. And that's my problem. You see, another major problem, Lacre, I'll tell you, Lacre, major problem. Hindu khatre mein hai. Whose line was this? I'm sure all of us know this. It is a political line. It is a political line that helped a political party to form the government in India. It's a political line. Today, a film is also using it. Matlab, a political party and a film, what is the difference? If there is no difference between your creative and your politics, that's end of your creative. That's end of your creative. And if there is end of your creative, it is end of your culture. This is a major problem. Supporting films like this, encouraging films like this, promoting films like this, will ensure that there will be no difference between film and politics. We are seeing that there is no difference between cricket and politics nowadays. We are seeing that there is no difference between education and politics nowadays. Now, films and politics. If our entire life is going to be politics, then we will have nothing else but politics and ideology that we nurture. Everything else that we build all these years gone with the wind. This is my issue. This is the point I wanted to make today. My last point is about Malayalis and Malayalam and Kerala. I smiled in the beginning of my editorial because, when I did my editorial last time, or I spoke about Kerala story last time, I had done an editorial. If you see the maximum trolls that I got or objections that were raised were from apparently Malayalis. A lot of Malayalis told me, what are you talking about? You call yourself liberal and why are you not allowing people to tell the story? This is the real story. This is what has happened. So shouldn't people be saying this? 36 girls, to the best of my understanding, 36 girls are reported to have converted in Kerala. That is the story. 36 girls out of 140 crore of people, and you are saying India will be an Islamic country? You are saying it is the biggest problem that the country has? Recently, the government of India, in the parliament, had said that there is nothing called as love jihad. It is the parliament who said it. Not me, parliament said it. We don't know anything about love jihad. And not the Congress government. Bharatiya Janata Party government had said this. And you have a film talking about a state, stereotyping a state. This is what I had asked. And I was told, what are you talking about? Second, you see, Kerala is a tourist-centric state. It's actually the tourist capital of this country. Today it does, I think, to the best of my knowledge, it does maximum of its revenues from tourism. You're going to spoil the name of that state. Other than nurturing the brand name Kerala, you're spoiling that brand name Kerala. You think people are going to come there? People are going to come there if they feel that there are these terrorists waiting to coerce or kidnap or take away girls and convert them into Islam. You think people will be comfortable traveling and touring that particular state, which is the bread and butter of that state? Do you think that's going to happen? So, I don't know why we don't understand this. This is a direct assault on a brand. This is a direct assault on a brand. If I had the wherewithal and the resources, I would have definitely filed a criminal defamation against the person who is defaulting that brand. This is a direct attack on that brand. Because this is going to cause, possibly, the film may not work or the film may not be that popular, but if it is, for the misfortune of Kerala, if it becomes a popular film, Kerala will be known for that. 10 such films, and definitely globally Kerala will be known as a place where women are picked up and converted into Islam. That's what the state will be known for. Whether it is right or wrong will be irrelevant, let me tell you that. Because that's how narratives are created. That's how hype is created. For God's sake, I've worked for advertising in 35 years. I know it. This is how it's done. And if you don't guard our own brand, which is Kerala, it's a brand that belongs to India. It's an Indian brand. If you don't guard our own brand, tomorrow you will have problems for people to come in there as tourists. I said that, but I was told that, listen, what are you talking about? And you know what? Again, like I said, most of the people who trolled me then were Malayalis. Somewhere down the line, it is good to be liberal. But somewhere down the line, I think, as Malyali, I think we should learn to ensure that we learn to protect our pride. We should develop some self-pride in us. Work as one voice and protect what is ours, and that is our name, our good name. Kerala is a secular state. Kerala, Hindu, Muslim, Christians work together. A lot of my friends, they run companies, and ironically, out of the three partners, one could be Hindu, one could be Muslim, one could be Christian. This is a reality. Believe me, this is a reality in Kerala. I don't know what you are made to believe, but this is a fact. And a lot of Keralites, if you can, please write down and endorse what I'm saying. Or whatever. If you feel otherwise, also write otherwise. But this is a fact. This is what I wanted to say. And as Malayalis, I think we should be talking about it, telling the world, this is what we are. So that such movies and such directors and such people will not be able to spoil our brand. My last point, which I also wanted to make is, you see, when I wrote about Kerala Story 2, there's a difference. There's a difference. Kerala Story 2, 90% of the people who supported my article, It was quite well circulated. A lot of people read it, I believe. So that particular article, a lot of Malayalis came in support and they wrote in endorsing what I said. And there were a few names who were critical or trolling me. Those names were fake names. They were fake profiles. Let me tell you that they were fake profiles. Why? Because A, the name was weird. B, as typical, there were some 5 followers and some 10 following. So that was the account, the handle. And there was no photograph and some weird names. And these were the people who were trolling me, not real Malayali. To the best of my knowledge, not one Malayali trolled. I want to believe this time around, Malayalis are not going to take this lying down. I hope they don't take this lying down. And finally, you see, this is not going to help any political party. This divisiveness at this stage, right on the eve of Kerala election, is not going to help any political party. And if a political party thinks that it's going to help them, they're wrong, grossly mistaken. This will harm them. I'm not therefore saying that a political party has promoted this film to be launched exactly on the eve of the election and all that. I'm not saying that. I have no proof, so I cannot say that. But if they have, and if they have or they have not, but the fact remains that if this movie is launched on the eve of the election, this is not going to go down well with the people of Kerala. Because at the end of the day, एक थप्पड़ ठीक है यार, रोज थप्पड़ मारेगा तो. This is one Kerala story happened. Now Kerala story too, and that too about Rajasthan girl. So this also is a fact I thought I should mention. So broadly, long and short, this is not creative. This is not even a film. This is hatred packaged to look like a film, which is presented in front of you. Possibly some people may view that not because they enjoyed the movie or they want to listen to the story or they want to enjoy the film, because it nurtures their hate, and possibly a lot of us feel good seeing such movies. That's the reason why some people may see this. Though my gut feel says that this film may not do well. If at all it's launched, it does not do well. And lastly, like I said in my article, I say it now, I'm against banning any films, I'm against banning any books, I'm against banning any form of creative expression. Because creative expression is right, wrong, otherwise that is a different issue. But creative expression is the right of the person who is presenting it in front of you. That's his creative expression. Of course, people like me, what I am doing right now is exercising my right of criticizing or of raising my objection to whatever creative expression that is being presented to us. That is, I am exercising my right. That's the point that I wanted to make. And with that, I'll end my editorial, and till I see you next time. That's tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.